I know from experience that the answers can go on a bit. So with apologies in advance, I will interrupt politely, I hope. And so let's begin.
Nice.
I've been in this state now full-time for 2 months. I have seen your ads. Man, have I seen your ads. And I can recite your lines, I think, from debates. But the one thing I haven't heard much is a vision about the state of Massachusetts. A famous New York governor once said, "You campaign in poetry, but you govern in prose." So let me just, for about a minute, get from each of you your poetry about what your vision for this state would be if you were governor for the next 4 years. Mr. Cahill, let me start with you.
Well, thank you very much, Charlie. I would apologize in advance for not being much of a poet, so it'll be just straightforward prose. I'm a working class guy from a middle class background, and I want to bring government to the middle class. I want to make government work somewhat smaller, somewhat more efficient, bring the money from Beacon Hill into the suburbs and into the communities of Massachusetts, and try to grow our jobs from the ground floor up. I am at heart a local politician and a small businessman. That's where I got my start. And I think in order to change the direction of this state, we need to start from the ground floor and work our way up. Small business growth, lower taxes, means that more of those small businesses can keep their money and hire people. And local government working with state government, it's something I've been used to for the last 7 years as treasurer. It's something I've worked hard on in order to build schools at a reasonable price. And I believe that that's what people are looking for in Massachusetts. Not slogans, not moving to the left, moving to the right, but moving forward.
It doesn't have to be a rhyme, but your poetry about what this state would be like 4 years of a Baker administration.
I think the most important thing I would bring to the table is a commitment to what I call the people who pay the bills. The folks who get up every day, go to work if they have a job, if they don't have a job, believe they can find a job, so that they end up believing that this is a good place for them to stay and raise a family and make a life. We've been losing a lot of people over the course of the past decade to other states where there's simply more growth, more jobs, and more employment. And a big part of that is Massachusetts is not competitive. It's not competitive on a cost basis, it's not competitive on a tax basis, and it's not competitive on a regulatory basis. And if we truly want to be the great state that we can be, and having now spent 15 months crisscrossing it from one end to the other, I'm more convinced than ever that the people of Massachusetts are creative, generous, innovative, and enormously talented. But they need a state government that gets up every day believing that we compete with other states for jobs and economic opportunity, and that we have to create a climate here where all businesses, and especially small businesses, believe they can grow and thrive to create those jobs that make those lives, that make it possible for people to think this is where they and their kids can make a life.
Jill Stein?
I think as the one outsider in this race who is not from the Beacon Hill inner circle, I really want to see things change in a deep way so that they're working for ordinary people. What we have now in Massachusetts is a state where things are working great for the fortunate few. Profits have never been higher on Wall Street. CEO bonuses are at an all-time high. Income gains of the past 10 years have gone largely to the top 1%, but ordinary people are really struggling. Record unemployment, underemployment, bankruptcies, foreclosures, struggling schools, sky-high healthcare costs. From outside Beacon Hill, you know, it's difficult, and I'd like to see things really change so that they're working on many levels. I'd like to see green jobs that pay for themselves, that make us healthier, that reduce our energy costs, which improve our nutrition, and reduce our healthcare costs as well.
And develop Patrick.
Well, first of all, it's a great school to reach every child, not just kids in the suburbs, but every child. It's healthcare that is as affordable as it is accessible. We've reached 98% of our residents today with health insurance, but it still costs too much. And it's a job for everyone who's looking for it. And we've made choices over the last 4 years that are driving in that direction, choices to invest in education and healthcare and in job creation. And that's why we're first in America in student achievement and first in America in healthcare coverage for our residents.
See, that's simply
and
not
growing
true.
jobs faster
We're
than
not
46
first in
other
the
states.
nation.
You know, we didn't cause this global economic collapse, so nobody's working harder to get us out of it. And I see a very promising, very optimistic future if we make the hard decisions today that will make us stronger in the long run and make the investments that will make us stronger in the long run.
All right, so you've now heard each other give their vision. So critique the other three and tell me why they're not going to be able to achieve their vision as well as you could.